Compared with his siblings, Elon was quiet. His mother would later say that his introversion, especially compared with his more outgoing siblings, made her fear that he might be deaf. When Musk was 10, his parents divorced and Elon lived mostly with his father, who moved around South Africa. It was a difficult time, as Errol was reportedly tough with his children to the point of abuse, often lecturing Musk and his brother for hours. It would certainly be accurate to say I didn't have a good childhood. Elon Musk didn't fit in well at all as a child. He was bullied heavily in schools. Musk sums up the bullying best when he said, "You get chased around by gangs at school who tried to beat the shit out of me, and then I'd come home and it would just be awful there as well." In Ashley Vance's book, Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and the Quest for a Fantastic Future, Musk said that it got so bad that one time he was pushed down a full flight of stairs that knocked him out cold. He was hospitalized, and to this day, Elon still have trouble breathing because of the incident. Life was a living hell for him. How did he rise above it to become the man we know of today? It started with his early childhood habits. He was incredibly curious as a child about the world. His dad, Elon Musk, recalls, when he was very small, he would ask me, "Where is the whole world?" when he was 3 or 4. We now know that whatever answer his dad gave him isn't sufficient enough, as he has his eyes on Mars. But it wasn't only his innate curiosity that made him different, it was his hunger for knowledge that did. Elon was a voracious reader as a child, so much so that his brother Kimball said he would go through 2 books in one day. 2 books a day. Holy crap, you read 100 books a year? Good for you! Young Musk reads more than 700 books a year, and he still looked cool while doing it. All that reading eventually led him to computers. He got a computer as soon as he could get one, and he started to program by the time he was 11 years old, and sold his first game at 12 years old for $500, which is approximately $1,200 today. But what is amazing from this story is how he rose from the ashes and became the Elon Musk we know today. Elon's rough early upbringing helped him overcome bigger challenges later in life when he was building SpaceX and Tesla. Without his difficult childhood, there would probably be no SpaceX, Tesla, or even PayPal. He works very hard. Elon Musk regularly puts in 80 to 100 hours of work every week. Running 2 giant companies is impossible without having such a work week. He goes on to say that working harder than others is essential because life is limited, and in order to maximize what you can achieve in life, you need to be able to achieve in a few months what others would take more than a year to achieve. At the same time, it is important to remember that hard work isn't enough. In fact, it is the bare minimum. Focusing your hard work in the right direction by working smart as well is what leads to results. He is really passionate about what he does. Steve Jobs famously said that it is extremely important to follow your passion, because if you don't, things usually get so hard that any rational person would give up. The only thing that sustains you during the time is your passion for what you do. Elon Musk is no different. The fact is, he went to industries that were making no money and became nearly bankrupt while trying to make them profitable. If he didn't care so deeply about doing things that benefited humanity, or went to industries he didn't care about at all, he would be inclined to give up a lot sooner. It was only his passion that fueled his commitment to keep going on no matter what. He actively asks for criticism. Most of us want to be praised, which is why there is such a big market for sycophants. However, it is only criticism that helps us improve, especially criticism that is grounded in valid facts. The only way we improve is when we identify the flaws in ourselves or what we create and then work hard to improve them. The only problem is most of us do not want to hear our flaws, and most people will not tell you your flaws, so one becomes stagnant and stops improving. Elon always asked his friends for everything negative they had to say about his cars, rather than be happy about them telling him how great they were. He also listened to the customers, which is why he kept improving his product at a rate faster than others. He keeps pushing on, despite insurmountable odds. Not only did Elon Musk take some huge risks in life, at a time everyone would want to play it safe, he has also faced some massive failures. Entering 2 new industries was a hugely difficult battle to begin with. To add to this, Tesla and SpaceX nearly went bankrupt in 2008 during the recession, and Musk was sure the companies would close down. He put in all his remaining savings to keep the companies afloat and prayed that things would turn around soon. At this time, he borrowed from others just to cover his living expenses. In December 2008, just a few days before Tesla would run out of cash, Musk finally was able to secure more external funding and has never looked back since. Around the same time, SpaceX faced a massive failure when it failed to put a rocket into orbit. Most of the team was disheartened, but Elon Musk assured them that as far he was concerned he would never give up, and he meant it. The next launch was a huge success, and SpaceX became the first private company to achieve Earth orbit. Success comes from never backing down to failure. After battling all these hardships, he is what he is today. If any ordinary person had faced so many difficulties, he would have given up long ago, and also would most probably have killed himself. Elon is always moving. He is building, blowing things up, and building again. He is Elon Musk, the real-life Iron Man.